Welcome to the Dopamine Fix gaming channel, and today I was thinking that with the upcoming legendary Warbond featuring Halo ODST that the drip factor would be very strong. The urge to buy this premium legendary Warbond might be so strong in fact that it's purchased nearly instinctively. For me, a Helldiver that's already acquired and unlocked all the Warbonds, that's no big deal. But for a new Xbox Helldiver, there are many other Warbonds for a functional soldier that might make more sense to get before this Halo ODST Warbond. So, instead of saying which one Warbond is the best, I'm going to try to group the Warbonds by playstyles. I'm going to call the first playstyle the Frag playstyle. If you just want to go in and kill stuff, these Warbonds have what you need. The Helldivers Mobilize Warbond is a free Warbond that has a ton of great gear in it and allows you to unlock a decent amount of super credits, which can go to unlocking other Warbonds, consisting of a decent amount of basic gear that you will rely on throughout the life of the game. One of my fave out of this is the Liberator Penetrator, which would probably be the first primary gun I'd recommend maxing out through the customization feature. Also, the Scorcher is a must-have and excellent at dispensing managed democracy, with its plasma blasts which explode on impact, causing a small but meaningful explosive knockback effect that can help you when you need some breathing room, but if fired point blank, will damage you if you get caught inside its explosion radius. There's also some cool boosters, which is a buff each Helldiver gets to select before diving into their match, and it affects the whole team, the most important one being the Vitality booster. Next is the Democratic Detonation Warbond. In this Warbond lies one of the most utilitarian sidearms in the game, the Grenade Pistol. This single sidearm, while not so good at killing, will destroy automaton fabricators, bug holes, and illuminate spacecraft docked on a planet. This is the Warbond that makes things go boom, from the Eruptor, which is usually part of my 40k roleplay kit, to the crossbow, and possibly the single best grenade in the game, the Thermite Grenade, which sticks to the surface of where you throw it and will take out almost every heavy target, with the exception of Bile Titans and Factory Striders, in one hit. Now, to me, the armors in this Warbond don't really have the look I like to use, but that's just one small negative and an overall positive. And I actually do use the Demolition Specialist a lot because it gives you extra grenades. After that, we have the Control Group Warbond. Now, this might be a hot take, but for me, I love the Control Group Warbond because I wanted a minigun that we could carry around and mow down enemies with, and well, with the variable, this is about as close as we're going to get to that for now. It's a primary weapon you can unlock with 7 rotating barrels firing democratic lead at your targets, and you could choose 3 different rates of fire. That firing mode is great for dealing with light armored mobs, and when you come across medium armored single targets, you can flip the mode to a shotgun type setting where instead of rotating the barrels, it fires all barrels at once, much like a shotgun, which is amazing. And then if you have a really strong target you need to take down quickly, you could take a knee or go prone and switch to the another mode that allows you to fire all rounds remaining in your magazine at once, and watch as this thing sends a mountain of lead down range. One of the highlights of this Warbond for most divers is the Warp Pack, a backpack that allows you to teleport a short distance and has a very short cooldown between uses. This backpack will save your life many times over, but it just doesn't fit into most of my roleplay styles, so while I do use it occasionally, I tend to prefer one of the 2 jetpacks. Also included is the Epoch, which is an anti-tank weapon that doesn't require a backpack, which is a plus for me. It does fire plasma blasts at targets, and while it isn't the best at anti-tank in the game, it does get the job done on most targets. I'll take it if I'm not the primary anti-tank person on a team and just serving as a backup. Next, the Polar Patriots has a couple great guns in the game, being the Pummeler SMG that has a staggering effect, and you use it with one hand, which is very useful when you have to carry objectives from point to point. Next, there's the Purifier, which is the hardest hitting primary plasma gun that is so great against every single faction in the game. You charge this weapon up before firing, and when it lands, the explosion radius is large enough to take out entire groups of enemies, so it is best fired into crowds and knocks enemies off their feet. The Tenderizer Assault Rifle is pretty cool too. I used to run this while role-playing as Master Chief in the 117 armor, but it may not get as much use now after the ODST Warbond drops. Lastly, Distilled Veterans has a couple of great guns that drop enemies like nobody's business. One is a Jar 5 Dominator, and I'll admit I am biased as I love this as my 40k roleplay weapon because to me it does feel kind of like a bolt gun. This thing is hard to handle but will delete whatever it hits that's medium armor and below. Also included in this Warbond is the Senator, the classic revolver that can penetrate heavy armor with style. There's also a shotgun firing incinerator ammo from a drum mag, which will light the world aflame. Now, if you're more of a support player, there are a few Warbonds that might be up your alley. First up is the Viper Commando Warbond. This Warbond doubles as both great frag potentials and support with the experimental infusion booster. This one booster is almost always included in matches, so you may not need to focus on it first, but it should be high on your list as it benefits the whole team, turning the normal stim shot that heals you into a stim shot that also reduces the damage you take and boosts your movement speed, helping to keep you in the fight. The Liberator Carbine with fully customized is a fantastic weapon, along with the Bushwhacker sawed-off shotgun sidearm. Next on the support-centric list is a Chemical Agents Warbond that has some of the best crowd control in the game. Gas in Helldivers not only confuses all factions in the game, but also delivers corrosive damage. There's a gas grenade that is incredibly useful with its on-demand gas clouds it creates that allows you to reposition or mow down your targets while they are dazed and confused by Liberty's sweet Chiba. Next, the Guard Dog, Dog Breath, which is a backpack sentry that will follow you around and shoot gas at any enemy targets in range, which is incredibly good against the Bugs and Illuminate factions. You do have to remember that with everything in this game, friendly fire is always on, so gas does damage you, your team, and enemies alike. So you'll want to play this as a frontline operator, stopping enemies' pushes and allowing your team to see your gas in advance and play around it, or wear armor that protects against gas damage. After that, we have the Freedom Flames Warbond. This Warbond is well designed for controlling all factions and also just demolishing them, as fire damage has been buffed to really hit hard with its damage over time effects. All flamethrowers in this game do the same amount of damage regardless of the enemy's armor, and the only thing that separates the various flamethrowers are the size of the tank, and I tend to use the Crisper sidearm, which has a very small tank, or the flamethrower stratagem, which has the largest tank. But there's also the primary weapon slot Torture, which has a really decent medium-sized tank. Along with those, there's also the Cookout, which is a shotgun firing Dragon's Breath and packing one heck of a punch at that, and is sure to keep enemies at bay. The armor sets in this Warbond will also serve to protect you from the flames with its resistances. Last but not least is the Cutting Edge Warbond, and this might hold one of the single best crowd control primary weapons in the Blitzer. Imagine holding lightning in your hands with the ability to reach out about shotgun range, unlimited ammo, and arcing to multiple targets. Stand in front of your team and stop enemies in their track with this weapon. One of the only downsides apart from its range is its inability to precisely target with Mother Nature's fury. So sometimes it strikes dead bodies that start to pile up in front of you, so don't get complacent using this weapon, divers. One of my fave weapons in this Warbond is actually the Sickle, which is a laser weapon, also with unlimited ammo so long as you manage the heat sink usage. Giving those Stormtrooper vibes, this is a blaster for you. Also often overlooked is the Dagger, a laser-based sidearm that fires a steady stream of hot laser beams at your target at range that will set enemies on fire if you leave it on the target long enough. Honorable mention for the support crowd control playstyle will go to the Force of Law Warbond with its moderately hard-hitting pacifier, which also stuns enemies, to the Urchin Sticky Grenade, which will also stun enemies but not deliver enough of a meaningful damage, to the currently bugged but potentially awesome De-Escalator Grenade Launcher that sends out explosive blasts of arc energy that will stop crowds in their track. But for some reason its damage is bugged out, only delivering full damage while you have a full squad, compared to when you are a lone diver in a mission space. Hopefully they will get this Warbond dialed in so that it can stand proud in protecting and serving for liberty. The next category of Warbonds is all about the drip. If your focus is on vibes and role-playing, then these are the Warbonds for you. First on my list is the Borderline Justice Warbond. This Warbond is all about the Star Wars Mandalorian vibes, and I love it for it. Because between the hover pack, the armors, and the weapons with their futuristic Wild West feel, this Warbond is high on my list when I want to roleplay going out and destroying separatist scum, be they clickers or bugs. This Warbond does contain some really great and fun to use weapons in the primary lever action Deadeye and the laser blaster firing revolver Talon, which might be my most used sidearm. I must also admit that in addition to these Warbond, there's items tied to the Warbond that are available in the Superstore that does not require you to purchase the Warbond. You just use super credits, and I actually do use this Democracy's Deputy armor a lot. Next, we have the Truth Enforcers and Warbond, and this continues the Star Wars roleplay theme, but focuses more on the Stormtrooper vibes. These armor sets look just amazing, and with the weapons are pretty cool too. With the hot shotgun firing flechettes in one mode and stun rounds in another, allowing for crowd control from the shotgun platform. The Reprimand is a hard-hitting SMG that when fired has a wild shot placement until you put in time with it to unlock much of the needed customization. Lastly is a very decent sidearm in the Loyalist, a plasma firing handgun that you can charge up to hit above its weight class and also provide some crowd control through the plasma weapon's AoE effects, though it does have limited ammo, so choose your shots wisely and aim for crowds to maximize every shot. Ayo. Alright, so we have this Judge Dredd themed section in the Superstore that's tied to the Force of Law Warbond technically, but you don't have to purchase the Force of Law Warbond to obtain these items. They're just in the Superstore. And you just use your regular super credits, and the armor that I always use is titled Grand Juror, along with its helmet. And there's also a very well balanced sidearm called Warrant that fires guided bullets to their target, which makes it great for aerial and highly mobile infantry units, as this gun just does not miss. But if you want to do that Judge Dredd roleplay, this is the set for you. Alright, I know, I've mentioned this Warbond already, but when I want to get those Warhammer 40k vibes, I turn to the Viper Commandos to roleplay as the loyal jungle fighters of Katachan. This Warbond is important on so many levels, chief among them being the experimental infusion booster, which I mentioned earlier, but even that can't overshadow how badass we look at running around into battle with these armor sets. That comes with the Fragtastic passive and fun weapons in the Liberator Carbine and the Bushwhacker sawed-off shotgun as a sidearm. Now, when I want to get those 40k Space Marine vibes, my favorite options for armor are the Martyr and Righteous from the Servants of Freedom. To help purge heretics from our democratic lands, you have an incredibly strong primary that is deadly to yourself called Double-Edged Sickle. Then there's the sidearm that's nearly as strong as a mini-nuke called Ultimatum. The secret grenade that you throw in the air and forget, as it'll choose a target for you. Or you could just ping a specific target and throw the grenade and it'll track to your ping. Lastly, there's a stratagem, Portable Hell Bomb, which you strap to your back, run to the area you want to turn to glass, set the 10-second timer, and run for your life as you try to get out of the blast radius before it wipes your problems clean like Windex. Last but not least is the Halo ODST Warbond that will be launching August 26 and contains the very cool looking ODST recon armors that have the decent passive, a suite of weapons straight from the Halo series that may not pack the punch we were initially hoping for, but will still give 100% roleplay vibes. I'm thinking if you're coming from Halo, you'll want to take a crack out of the formidable faction of the Illuminate, as these squids are the most like the Flood from the Halo series. They're not my favorite faction to go up against, but I'll be spending some time with them regardless in these armors just for the vibes of it all. And lastly, I do have the honorable mention of the Killzone Superstore items, which while not currently available as a Warbond, they do have very cool armors and decent weapons ripped straight from the Killzone series. Hopefully they will be added back to the Superstore, that way all that content can be made available to the divers of Helgas. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think of my Helldivers 2 Warbond list. I didn't want to do the typical tier list as all the big name Helldiver 2 YouTube channels have covered that extensively, so presenting it from a potential playstyle perspective seemed like it might be cool. There's just so much to this game, and I can't wait to get out there with y'all and have fun discovering it together for Managed Democracy. And tune in for more Dopamine Fix.
Calling in extraction.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Requesting air support. Calling down a support weapon. Sending in an eagle.
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Calling down fortifications. Big empty. Found something.
Heavy. Northwest.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
Orbital inbound.
Reloading.
Bug outpost.
Throwing grenade.
Requesting air support.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
Calling in reinforcements.
ETA T-minus 20 seconds. ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. Sending in an eagle. Pelican 1 landing in progress.
Got it.
Requesting orbital.
Sample.
Found something. Southeast.
Affirmative.
Front hold. On my position. Two men.
reinforcements.
Injury! One injury! Ending in an eagle! Too bad!
Joining the fray. Blasting advanced weaponry! Blasting orbital! Sending in an eagle!
Dropping a pin.
Requesting air support! Reinforcing! Oh, my leg!
Calling down a walker.
Attacking map. East, 300 meters. Requesting orbital strike! Requesting orbital! Enemy elite, east, 100 meters. Sending in an eagle! Sending in an eagle! Requesting air support! East, 50 meters.
Off tunnel breach!
Orbital inbound!
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Reinforcement budget depleted.
Requesting air